All right, Farmers Corner. Once again, welcome to everybody who's gonna watch this video. My subscribers, the people that comment, the people that like, and the people that share the video. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're increasing our subscriber base, but that's happening with time. So today, someone was asking me, or not today, but I had a conversation with a friend of mine not so long ago. We were talking about we're talking farming again, and then he was asking me, Mitchell, when you, on your farm, when you farmed, of course, when you're farming commercially, what was the most important business partner in your livestock crop? Was it your bull? Was it your cow? Was it your bulls or was it your cows? And I gave him this answer. I gave him a short and long version answer, but I'm going to try and keep it short here. I said, look, both are important, but the bigger shareholder is my female animals, my heifers, my cows. Because without them being there, no one is going to give birth to calves. Yes, the bull contributes in terms of giving semen. But I've always said this. It doesn't matter if you have a bull that's 200, 300, or 30, 36, 40, $50,000, and you have infertile cattle, or you have cattle that do not conceive. That $36 or $100,000 that you had spent on that bull would mean zero, because you're not getting you're not conceiving anything. So I gave him a scenario where I said, look, I had about, there was a while back when I was breeding, when I introduced a new bull to my herd, and the bull had gone through its checks and balances. It came out with a good bill of health. Semen was good. They milked the semen to see if the semen is active and they can swim. Everything was done. So now the question was, when we introduced this bull, our cows, or two of our heifers, were not conceiving. So the question was going on, what's wrong? Is the bull probably not mounting? Is the bull infertile? You know, they were at the point where my old man even thought, you should just slaughter this bull. I was like, nah, it can't be the bull. Let's wait and first see what happens. So we changed our breeding cycle. I did a situation of, if my breeding calendar starts, let's say beginning of January 2021, that's when it starts. I put the bull in there. I let the bull walk amongst the cows, mounts them. They have to be pregnant. They have to be certified pregnant. After it's done, I remove the bull. And then I would put the bull in. That was January till Feb. And then probably I'll put the bull in again in March till April. Just for last minute checks to make sure that all the cows had received their fair dosage of semen to be able to give birth to a calf. So after I did all that, I still had about 3 heifers that had not give birth. While every other heifer age groups, some younger than them, some the age groups, some older cows had given birth from this bull. These heifers were not giving birth. So then I said, okay, fine, I'm going to give them 3 chances. The first chance, which was when I put the bull there, they didn't. The second chance, I said probably because of immaturity, and they were still young. They were young animals. They were young heifers, first time taking a bull. The third time I put them in there again. I mean, the second time I put the bull to them again, they didn't conceive. So I said, I'm going to give them one more chance, which was their third try to fall pregnant, and they didn't. And as much as we love our animals, as much as we farm, as much as we build connections with these animals and we give them names, red, brown, pink, apple, banana, vanilla, whatever animals you give your heifers, you're running an enterprise, you're running a business here. You need to make sure that your animals, your cows, which are your biggest shareholders, are bringing dividends in. They are calving, because from those calves they give birth, you sell some to make money so you can pay off whatever expenses it is on the farm, whether it's a bank loan, whether it is repairs, whether it's paying laborers, or whether it is fixing the vehicle you use on the farm. So when they couldn't do that, I decided to take them to an abattoir. They got slaughtered, they got converted into meat. So what are the reasons why sometimes some cows do not give birth? Some of them could be hormonal imbalance within some female cows. Some of them, it's hormonal imbalance. Their hormones are really not that great for them to fall pregnant. Sometimes you get things like some of them have a situation of I don't want to say abortions, but I'll say miscarriages, whereby she falls pregnant, she carries for a trimester, and then rather than carrying it for a full trimester, she ends up having a miscarriage and the calf is still born. Another could be that in some cases, and I've seen this, I know a lot of people say it's not really that deep, but yeah, I've seen this. I've seen in some cases some heifers are reluctant to be mounted by a bull. So this is where some farmers have come up with this new situation, contraption, probably do artificial insemination, or they put the cow in a certain form like a cage where they close her in, and then her back area where the bull is supposed to mount is open for the bull to mount her without her being able to run away or able to kick the bull or do whatever to prevent it from mounting her. And you know, sometimes also it could also be the bull you have. You know, I know we say sometimes what's on paper, you get your certificate when you buy your bull from whatever stud, whatever breeder. You also get your certificate, you get your fertility tests also done on the bull. But sometimes what you get, what's on paper and what you get physically is not the same thing. You know, on paper, this bull is registered to be the top. Semen's good, everything's great. But when it comes to conceiving rate, it's probably conceiving out of, let's say, 20 cows, you're only probably getting about 13 cows pregnant. Sometimes the bull could be the issue, you know. And I don't know why this sometimes is. I usually say it's a lazy bull. This is why you'd see most livestock cattle farmers would always have a senior bull in their herd. They're breeding heifers. And then they would have a junior bull in there. And sometimes the junior bull is the, how do I say, challenge bull. In Afrikaans, they'd say spogbul. So it is there just to keep the older guy on his feet. So he works extra hard, because if he slips up, the young bull is ready to mount the heifers and the cows that he's reluctant to mount. So sometimes some people do that. I've also seen some bulls become very comfortable, particularly when they're amongst heifers or cows that are supposed to conceive. They become very comfortable because they know they are the only bull in the herd. So there's no real competition. They take their time to mount. You know, you'd see your cattle when they fall pregnant. It's not like you're having a group of cattle falling pregnant in 1 month. They're spaced out. And sometimes it's because the bull becomes comfortable. He knows there's no competition. He knows he's the only bull here. He has nothing to prove. And he becomes a bit lazy. This is why some farmers will always throw in there a young bull. In Afrikaans, they would say a spogbulletjie, a young bull in there, just to challenge him a bit, just so he can get the conversion rate properly. And sometimes, if you don't do your fertility tests on your bulls, sometimes your bulls could be infertile. They could be mounting your cows and shooting blanks. It does happen also in livestock. Yes, cattle do also. Bulls can also shoot blanks. It happens. These are some of the things. So it's very important to always test your animal's fertility. I know a lot of people be like, Mitchell, but what if I don't have that money to load a bull, take it to a vet, whether private or state, and get it fertility tested? I know one friend of mine who breeds a breed of cattle, the Bosmara breed of cattle. Before he would sell a bull to you, he would always take that bull when it's at breeding age, around about 3.5 years, he would take it and he'd put it among some heifers. That is him testing to see if this animal is fertile. Because like most people would say, not everybody has the money to call out the vet, so he takes some semen straws and he go test to see if the semen of this male animal are healthy and are able to swim. So he would always take his young bull and put it among some heifers right about its age, and he would let it mount. He would let it mount those other heifers, and that's how we would test it. Once those heifers conceive and they give birth, after that bull has been with those heifers, he would remove it, and then he would do he would do a pregnancy test on cattle. There is a pregnancy test on it. I think I'll one day have to do a video, but not just explaining it, but actually a full demonstration on that. So he would do that, and after he does his pregnancy test, or if he's unable to do the pregnancy test, he'll have to wait for 9 months. Remember, guys, cattle stays pregnant for 9 months. 9 months, like a human being. It carries from 9 months. After 9 months, he would go into that kraal where that young bull was put in to see if the heifers have given birth. Have they given birth, and what are they giving birth to? If they have given birth to good quality calves, then he would be like, I can guarantee you this bull of mine is not just certified by the vet, but I am also certifying it right now to say this bull is more than capable to produce good quality calves. So when it comes back to the conversation of which one is important, the bull or the cow? For me, it was always the cows, because as I said, it's more than just ejaculating semen into a cow and an egg, and then a calf is born. It's giving birth to that calf, it's carrying it for the 9 months, then giving birth to that calf and raising it. So for me, what made a very good cow was that cow that conceived every year without any skip, every year, every calendar year, whether it's 2021 leading up to 2030, giving birth every year, and is able to successfully raise her own calves with minimum help from me. Minimum help in terms of, I don't need to step in with powdered milk, I don't need to step in with whatever. She takes care of a calf on her own. Maybe vaccines and medication, of course. A cow can't do that, but I'll do that. But for me, that was the most important thing. It was, for me, my biggest shareholders were my female cows. They were the most important shareholder player. I mean, they were my, how do I put it? They were my MVPs in my farming enterprise, because without them, I would not be able to have calves. I'd not be able to have winners. I'd not be able to make money at the end of the year at auctions, because I need them. Bulls are good. It's good to have a very good bull. Very important. It's an important component of the farming business, but the MVP of your farming business are your cows. So always make sure when you buy your cattle, always try to pick heifers that are from a very fertile bloodline. They don't need to be the best looking heifers. Come on. Sometimes the best looking animals are not the most fertile animals. They need to be animals that are able to come from a bloodline where their mother was dropping calves every year and they were able to raise their own calves with minimum help from you. Also, another thing I also used to look at was, when these animals have given birth, how does their body condition look? Are they becoming very thin? Because you'd find some cattle that would become extremely thin when they give birth and they're starting to allow their calves to suckle from them. They become extreme, they lose so much weight, they look so bad. And then you find cows that would not really become thin, just become lean, because they have a calf that's suckling from them. Those are the type of animals I look for. I used to look for animals that would not become extremely thin, that I can actually count the ribs on the cow, but become lean and still have some body on it, still have some meat to fat ratio, but not too thin. Just lean enough to still look good at eye appearance. And also give everything she's got to a calf, so she raises a very healthy, very strong calf. Because I never really enjoyed the cow that would give birth, because I had the situations where a cow would give birth to a calf. Rather than her accepting a calf and raising a calf, she would give birth to the calf. After giving birth to the calf, she would make the calf an orphan by not accepting it. So I had to raise a lot of this orphan calves, you can put it that way, with bottled milk. And sometimes these young cows do not know how to suckle from a teat. I have to teach them things that they would be learning from their mom. I have to teach them and how much they need to drink, all this type of thing. So there were a couple of animals that I hand raised, that I raised from their hand, which is a fun thing to do, but it's not the most ideal way to do. You want your cows, your heifers, whether it's an old cow, a first-time mother, a second-time mother, to be able to raise her calves successfully. So when you do go to somebody's farm and you want to buy heifers, female cows, always ask them a bit background, just a little bit of background on the cow you're about to buy. If it's a heifer, sorry about the flies, we're having crazy fly season. You ask them a bit about the bloodline of the mother, your heifer you're about to buy, her mother. Was she able to successfully deliver calves every year without birthing defects, without abortions, without the farmer having to step in and take over the mothering duties of the calf? So all these things are very important that you should ask. These three critical questions are the ones: whether she's able to give birth successfully and raise her own calves, has she had any birthing problems, has she ever had abortions? Miscarriages, not abortions, miscarriages. Those three questions are very important that you should ask every time you buy heifers. So the question of the bull or the cow, which one is important? I'll always say the cows. The cows are the most important players for me. They are my most valuable players on the field. Thank you again. Thanks to everybody who likes, subscribe, and comment. I keep on reading your comment. That was Farmer's Corner. Have yourself a good day.